Hey guys, it's Jackie M from Masters of Malaysian Cuisine. Welcome back to another in our series of Gong Xi Kongsi cook-alongs, where we showcase recipes that are Chinese New Year themed. This is a series that's done in collaboration between Masters of Malaysian Cuisine and Facebook group Masak Apa Tak Jadi Hari Ini, Apa Khabar Semua. Welcome and please say hello. Let us know where you're watching from. We're very, very excited to have raw Chef Yin, our legitimate raw chef celebrity in Malaysia, who specializes in not just vegan food, but also vegan food that's actually, technically raw by her definition, and we'll get her to explain that a little bit further. Now, we're going to be doing something that is a very, very popular Chinese New Year snack, which are pineapple tarts, but raw Chef Yin is going to show us how to do it vegan and raw as well. Yeah, they look so adorable. They are her auspicious pineapple tarts. I love the play on words, but stick around. Let us know where you're watching from. Say hello. And I'm just going to play a quick clip from Tourism Malaysia. We'll come back and say hello to raw Chef Yin in 30 seconds. Hey, now, we're ready to go. Come on, come on, come on. Gotta make a move to get there right now. Somewhere nice so we can get away. Better than the ordinary day. You're my paradise. Malaysia, truly Asia. Hey guys, Jackie, I'm back with you with raw Chef Yin. How you doing, Yin?
Hi, I'm good. I'm all ready for Chinese New Year.
I know, I love the Chong song. You know what, guys? Look at how skinny she is, and she's going how she's put on weight. I don't know what the hell these Malaysians are talking about. Apa khabar semua? Welcome to Masters of Malaysian Cuisine. Hari ini kita akan buat tart nanas yang vegan, yeah. Raw Chef Yin. So tell us what's involved in this. What's something that looks like a lot of ingredients, by the way. So tell us how you're going to do this.
Actually, it's not as scary as it sounds. It's a matter of making the jam, the pineapple jam, and then we'll make the dough. And then after that, because I wanted to make it really cute and also in trying to make sure that it's both.
Yeah, you can see that.
Yeah. So that is in line with the year of the ox. So that's why it's auspicious pineapple tarts. I decided to create the nose and the ears and the feet and the eyes and all that, and it's all made with wholesome ingredients. So this is a very healthy Chinese New Year goodie, but I also want to make sure that it tastes good as well, which explains a lot of the ingredients, because I'm not using any butter. This is vegan, so there's no butter, there's no honey, there's no eggs, there's no cream, and it's raw vegan as well. So there's no baking involved, although for the jam we will need to use the dehydrator, but that's so we're just using the dehydrator and the food processors to make these really cute pineapple tarts.
Okay, yeah, they look adorable. Okay, cool. We have Chef Ismail Ahmad saying hello from Kuala Lumpur. Apa khabar, Chef Ismail? By the way, guys, for those of you who are big fans of Chef Ismail, he obviously is the owner chef of Rebung restaurant in Kuala Lumpur. And you know what, with the MCO, with the lockdowns and all that, his restaurant is now reopening as of today for dine-in customers. So if you're in Kuala Lumpur, make sure you check out Restaurant Rebung, all right? Smriti says hello, and we've got quite a few people saying hello to you. Organicu, says hello. And Viera, hello from Kuala Lumpur. You've got a lot of fans saying hello, regular. Hi from Switzerland. Well, there you go. Hi, which part of Switzerland? Okay, cool. Sheila says good morning from Frankfurt. Guten Morgen. How are you? Okay, so let's get into it. Tell us what you're going to get started doing first. Let me just remove the comment quickly. Yep, cool. And I'll just remove the banner. Okay, yeah, go on.
Okay. All right, I'm going to start with the jam first. So the pineapple jam is just 4 ingredients. Yeah, so we're going to use fresh pineapples if possible. I like to use fresh pineapples. But if you want to use can, I think you can as well. Although I think if you use can, you will need to drain it, and also it might be a bit sweeter because they usually put syrup in. And then because usually traditionally in pineapple tarts, they actually boil it with maybe a cinnamon stick as well as cloves. Cloves. I always call it
Yeah.
clove. I don't know why.
Clothes. Yeah.
Clove,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I've done is actually because we are not going to be cooking this over a stove, we're just going to use cinnamon powder and clove powder. Yeah. So what I'm
Okay.
gonna do is I'm just gonna blend it up. So I may need to stand at some point. All right, so I'm just gonna use today. I'm just using a Vitamix, but you can use any food processor to process it. So I'll put that in, and then
So I want
so
to ask you, how does
yeah,
the Vitamix compare to the Thermomix with the processing function?
I think it depends on what you're going to use. I'm going to use both the Vitamix and the Thermomix today. The
Okay.
Vitamix is great if you want to do things. It's more of a blender. It's not so much of a food processor, actually. Yeah.
All right.
So if you want to make things like, if you want to for raw vegan food, especially if you want to process things like cashew nuts to make them into like to blend them to make them into cheese, then the Vitamix is really good for that because the Thermomix it's big, so you need to put in a lot of cashews before you can blend it up, and you don't get such a smooth consistency, especially when you're making raw vegan cakes. But I mean, I've been using the
Interesting.
Thermomix for like 5 years before I just got my Vitamix. Yeah, a couple of months ago, I think 2, 3 months ago only. So I'm still also
Ah.
getting used to it. It's just that I didn't want to like because it's hard. I didn't want to do like wash. I didn't want to wash in
Yeah.
between, right? That's why I'm
Sure.
just
Sure.
using that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Sure. Sure.
yeah. So let me just turn it on. So the thing is, you don't want to blend it into a liquid because what you want is when you dehydrate it, then you want to get this. You see, uh, it becomes a jam-like consistency, like how it is in traditional pineapple tarts. So you want
All
to have a
right.
bit of fiber in it, yeah.
Right.
So anyway, let's hope this works. Yeah, I'll just blend it up, just a bit, yeah. So I think in terms, yeah, you were saying, in terms of, it depends on what you're trying to make. I think the Thermomix works great for so many things, but the Vitamix also has its place in the raw food
In your
kitchen.
kitchen.
Yeah, so
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so that's it. You don't want to blend it up too much, like I said. So you want to have some kind of fiber. And then, yeah, I'll just take it out just to show you for. Hold on, let me just move this a bit.
Apparently, people can hear the chirping birds from my end. Yeah, this is Sydney, Australia.
That's really nice. So what I do after this, so this is off camera, of course. I'm just gonna, I put this into the dehydrator, and then I dehydrate it for about 6 hours. So it's equivalent to cooking it down to become a jam. But we're gonna put it in the dehydrator at a low temperature at 45 degrees Celsius, so that you want to retain the nutrients in the pineapple. So because high heat, if you're going to cook it over the stove for a long time over high heat, then I think a lot of the nutrients and the vitamin C's and all that will already be destroyed from the heat. So yeah, that's one of the
Cool.
reasons why we're doing that. So I've already dehydrated that in advance, like I said, and then it actually becomes this color, and yeah, you can see the consistency. So you can actually just take it up and roll it into a ball,
I'm
which I think
surprised
I
how
did.
well it dehydrates. I kind of thought that, like, yeah, 45 degrees wouldn't be enough to get it to that consistency.
Yeah, you need to dehydrate it for like 6 hours or something. But yeah, so some of my recipes I tell people like, oh, you have to dehydrate it for 12 hours, and they're like, 12 hours?
Yeah, no
Because
wonder
people
you're
are
so
just
skinny.
yeah. So that's the jam. Yeah, and then we'll move on to the dough, right? Because you just want to make the dough the dough for the pineapple tart, which we're going to let me see. I'm going to use the Thermomix for that. And let me just talk about what's inside. So instead of using white flour, we're going to be using cashews, and then we're using oats. So those are the two main ingredients. And then these to give it more flavor, what I've done is I put in some nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast will have that umami boost to it. And then I put in some pandan powder from my blue tea. My blue tea, thanks so much for sending this through. Pandan leaf powder. Yeah. But if you guys don't have pandan leaf powder, you can't get it, you can always just put vanilla essence as well, vanilla extract, or more pure vanilla extract. I mean, if you're looking at whole food plant-based. And then I put in some lemon zest. This is the lemon zest. Yeah. And then hala namak, which is the black Himalayan salt. The reason why I'm doing that is because I wanted to, this black Himalayan salt has a bit of an eggy taste because it's high sulfur content. Yeah. Let me show you do I show it here or do I show it here?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, the front is good.
So Himalayan
black salt.
Yeah.
Cool.
So a lot of the vegans will be quite familiar with this because they use this in their turmeric. What is that? The tofu. Yeah, the tofu scramble. They usually put this in because it will give it that eggy taste. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I never knew that.
Yeah. So that's just if you want more flavor to the dough. If you find it hard to get, I mean, this one in Malaysia, you can get it at any of the organic shops. Or you can get it
I'm
online.
gonna write it down.
Yeah.
Okay, black Himalayan salt.
Yeah, black salt.
Okay.
Or it's called kala namak.
How do you spell it?
KALANAMAK. A lot of the actually in traditional Indian Ayurvedic cuisine, people use this as well. You know.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, but if you don't have this, don't worry. Just use any kind of salt that you already have with you. That's fine. Yeah, and then the other thing that I put in, which is optional, this is maca powder. So this one I'm using from Organic Hill Superfoods. This is the maca powder. That's how it looks like. Yeah. And
now I can still hear you, but your screen is actually frozen up at the moment for whatever reason. But let's see how we go. Okay, now you're back. Cool. Okay.
Okay, great.
Anyway, go on. I'm just going to flash up. Yeah, you're still freezing up a little bit. So, but we'll see how we go.
Alrighty.
Cool. And we've got some people saying hello. Tessa Yo, Facebook user says, my mom used to put some red coloring into the pineapple jam to enhance the color. Interesting. Cool. Okay. Yeah. You seem like it seems like it's better now. So let's see how we go. Cool.
Okay.
Anyway, go on.
The other thing that I'm going to put in for the flavor is just maca powder, and that's just one of the superfoods that I'm using. Yeah. You don't need to use it if you don't want to, but I find that in raw food we use a lot of superfoods so that that we can also say like we'll eat loads of them and be guilt-free, you know. It's an excuse to eat more cookies. So yeah, this one, this helps with the stamina and combats fatigue and stress as well. So I'm putting that in. That gives it a bit of a malty flavor. Yeah. So I think it's just
what powder did you say it was?
Maca. Yeah. So it's a Peruvian root. Can you see? See? Oh, sorry. Okay,
maca. Okay, right.
Yeah.
Okay, I hope everyone's taking notes here. Okay, cool. Go on.
It's kind of like it's a Peruvian root. So some people call it like the Peruvian ginseng, you know, that kind of thing. Per will the dehydration process reduce the pineapple tartness? I should taste it. And it's really nice. The dehydration process actually brings out the flavor of the pineapple. So it's like a bit like say sun-dried tomatoes, right? Once you eat sun-dried tomatoes, because of the drying process, it intensifies the taste of the tomatoes. So it's the same with the pineapple. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Nice.
Okay, so that's the dough. So yeah, it's very very simple. It's just a bit matter of processing everything um in the food processor. And I will also talk about I'm also going to use a sweetener. Yeah, but I'll talk about that when I put it in. So let me just put in the cashews. I don't think we can see it, but it's okay. We'll put in the cashews and we'll put in the oats into the food processor first.
So this is
And
like obviously raw, like rolled oats, is it?
yeah, it's just roll oats, normal roll oats.
Okay.
Yes, you're right.
Hmm.
And you know what? I might as well just put. I can actually just put in the all the flavors, all this as well. Well, usually I process this first and then I put this in. Just because I want to make sure. You know what? I'll do that. I will just process in the rest. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's do that. So one
Your
thing is
Thermomix
you don't
sounds
want
very civilized compared to mine. What speed did you
it.
use it? Did you process it at?
6.5 today. You know,
Okay.
I'm
Sure.
yeah, yeah, but it's not totally what yet. Sometimes I turbo it as well. It just depends on
Okay.
my mood. Yeah,
Yeah, I like when you use it agak-agak because sometimes
yeah.
people like when they have Thermomixes, they feel compelled to follow everything to the last second, you know. Good
Yeah, I
morning,
always agak.
Masna, and good morning, Sid, or good evening here, Sid. And Saru says hi. How you doing, everyone? Yep. Sorry, go on.
No, no problem. Yeah, so it's more or less like flour-like texture, more or less. It
Okay,
depends on
right.
how yeah, I just don't want to over process it because if not the cashews might turn into cashew butter, you know,
Oh,
because I'm
sure,
still going
gotcha.
to yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm still going to because I still need to put in this ingredient. So I'm just putting in, you know, the flavorings that I told you just now. So
Mm-hmm.
the nutritional yeast and the black salt and the pandan and all that.
And the maca.
Yes, and the maca. So it was the pandan, the lemon zest, the nutritional yeast, the black salt, and the maca. Oh, I didn't talk about the nutritional yeast, did I? Is that something that you
No,
use? Oh,
no.
okay. So, um,
I've seen the name here and there, but I've never gone out and bought some to try out.
yeah. So, again, in vegan cooking, we use this a lot. Again, it's an inactive yeast, and for the cheese, a lot of cheese recipes, we use it, or we just kind of sprinkle it on for additional flavor. I think I kind of likened it to your. This is like the vegan version of
Chicken
your chicken
powder.
powder. Yeah, so I put it in as well. It gives it some kind of cheesy flavor. Yeah.
Does
Again,
it? The name sounds a bit odd to me. It's like nutritional. The fact that it's got nutritional and it makes me think of like vitamin supplements.
yeah, I think because they do fortify it. So like this one say it
Okay.
says an excellent source of protein containing essential amino acids, rich in vitamins, especially the B complex vitamins. And it's an excellent source of folic acid. Because I do know that a lot of the nutritionists, they actually fortify it with B vitamins. I'm not quite sure
Okay.
why,
Okay.
but they do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, sure.
So,
And guys, if you want the recipe, make sure you sign up at malaysianchefs.com/join today, and I'll get Paul to put that up on the screen when he gets a chance. Put it up in the comments, Paul, if you don't mind. Yeah, sorry.
sure.
Anyway, go on, Yin.
Okay, so now I'm just going to process it again. So to just combine all those flavorings together with the oat flour and the yeah the cashew flour. I'm so not used to people calling me beautiful sexy because I'm usually in my chef's jacket. But I thought like, oh okay, you know, it's Gong Xi Kongsi and I should wear my very extremely red cheongsong.
That's Lisa for you. Lisa's always a little bit cheeky. You look so beautifully sexy. Now, Victoria wants to ask the nutritional yeast, do you not need to cook it?
No, oops. No, you don't need to cook it. It's not like, you know, the yeast that you use for making bread,
Baking.
because like I
Uh-huh.
yeah, like I mentioned, it's an inactive yeast. Yeah, so you can just use it. It's used a lot in raw cooking actually. Yeah, so now we kind of
Okay.
mix it. Yeah, now it's all kind of like mixed up. So the last thing I'm
Okay.
gonna add in is the sweetener. So you can choose. Usually we just say liquid sweetener of choice, but I don't know whether that makes sense to people or not. When we say liquid sweetener of choice, it's sometimes maybe coconut nectar. I am using this coconut syrup right now just because I wanted something light. You could also use maple syrup. You could use agave, but some people don't. They say it's high fructose content, so they don't use agave. But usually, yeah, I either use the gula melts with this local gula, organic gula melaka. But that one is a bit dark, so I felt like it made my cookies very dark when the first round I tested it. So I decided to use this instead. This is made from coconut flour nectar, and it's from Thailand. Yeah, so still, quite local. Oh, and if Paul is watching this, I can tell him that I actually tried a version using xylitol as well. So
And
I
no good.
uh, it worked out in terms of texture and the way it looked visually, it was great. The taste, I didn't like it so much. Yeah. It tasted,
Ah,
yeah, it was a bit too sweet for me, I think. Like it didn't
okay.
get, yeah, I didn't get the taste that I wanted. But yeah. Yeah, so Paul, you can switch it out. You can use xylitol, and then you need to add in some water as well. I think what I did was like maybe like 2 to 3 tablespoons of water, and then like, you know, 3 tablespoons of xylitol, depending on how sweet you want it to be. Yeah, I don't
Okay.
eat my, yeah. So that's an option if anyone is keto, I suppose.
Interested. Yeah, yeah. So like coconut syrup, does it taste like gula melaka or is it quite
Um,
different?
the other one I used tasted like gula melaka. This
Okay.
one tastes like, hold on, I have a here, so let me taste this. No, actually, this one tastes more like honey, actually.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's
Does it
because
look like honey? Is it the consistency of honey or is it more runny?
this one is, I think, slightly more runny.
Okay.
So, can you see it?
Yep. Yep. We can see it.
Oh,
Cool.
sorry. I'm
Yep.
trying to figure
That's
out like
fine.
which.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
How interesting.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
okay,
Cool.
I'm going to process it again. So, this time, I just want to process it until the dough, everything starts binding together so we can have a
Mm-hmm.
nice dough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like a pliable dough.
Mm-hmm.
I need to
Did you
check
say
my.
you added any oil on it or no?
No.
Okay.
I will answer that question on oil actually.
Okay.
Uh,
Sure.
you could, if you want to. Um, okay, let me pour this out so you can see what it looks like.
Oh, Victoria says coconut syrup tastes more like date syrup. I use it a lot too. Now I've got to figure out what date syrup is.
Date syrup's
Clearly,
made of
there's a
dates.
lot. Yeah. Clearly, there's a lot I
All
don't
this,
know.
all this healthy-ish sweeteners. I think we shouldn't. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. I realized something. You know what? I was wondering why my jam looked so weird. The color. I didn't
Why?
put in the dates. I didn't put in the dates. I was like,
All right.
why is the jam so light? So
All
yes, we're
right.
supposed to put in the date.
You
So
don't.
if any of you are doing, remember to blend the dates
I
together
thought
with
the
the pineapple jam.
dehydrator must make it turn so dark so
Sorry, guys.
after 6 hours. Cool. So the dates you don't need to soak them beforehand or
Okay, it depends on what dates you're using. If you use medjool dates, it's very soft, you don't need to. But the dates, if they are very hard, you should soak them. I'm using Rabi dates. In Malaysia, I just get them from Bake with Yen, like the biggest. It's one of the baking shops. So
All right.
depending, I think if you're using a normal blender, it might be good to soak it. So I've done it. Sometimes I soak it and sometimes I don't, depending on
Okay.
whether I remember or not. And also because
Sure.
the only thing is, after you soak it, sometimes I find that the flavor is not so intense, so I try
Okay.
not to. And since now
Right.
I'm using the Vitamix, then I don't need to actually
Sure.
yeah, I don't really need to soak it. But yeah, if you're just using a normal food processor or normal blender, you should. You know why? Because previously, before I got all my expensive equipment, I was just using like, one of those cheap food processors. Yeah, I kept destroying the blade.
I
I was
know,
trying
right?
to blend dates. Yeah. Yeah. I think that was the reason why I got my Thermomix. Actually, I was like, okay, I can't keep changing food processor blades. So I went with the Thermomix. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is your dough. You see, I'm just trying. Yeah, just trying to see.
Sure. Papa Joe,
So the,
Johari Idris from MasterChef Malaysia says hello, and also from obviously
hello.
Masters of Malaysian Cuisine says hello. Apa khabar, Chef Joe? And we have Sue Ann says, blue suits you very well, Jackie. All right, thanks. And Sebastian says, hello, greetings from Kentucky. Yay. Sebastian's also from our MOMC at Heart group. And San Ananthan says, hi, Chef from Malaysia. Yeah, sorry, go on. What were you
No,
saying
no.
again?
Yeah, so you'll know that it's ready when it sticks together. Can you see? You can see that it
Yeah, sure.
becomes a pliable dough. Actually,
So what makes it stick together is like
oh yeah,
the
two things. Because cashews releases a lot of oil. Yeah, so when you
okay,
process it, the cashews will release oil. Plus, we put in the coconut nectar just now.
okay,
So that will also
okay.
make it. You could put in sometimes the cookies that we like, yeah, raw vegan cookies. Yeah, sometimes I use coconut oil as well to
All right.
because you were asking whether I want to put in oil. Today I'm
Yeah.
not. I've tested a version with the coconut oil, but I found that the dough is too wet and then it's very hard to work with. So I just
Okay.
remove that. Yeah, but
So you
you
don't
could
need
put
it
it
at
in
all.
because yeah, but some people put in because they also like the coconut fragrance. Some people like it and
Sure.
some people don't. So it depends. Yeah, yeah. So
Sure,
you
sure.
could put it in if you want to. Mm.
Okay. To me, Chinese New Year cookies probably shouldn't taste overwhelmingly coconutty. That's
Yeah,
just me.
yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah. So yeah.
Cool.
So what you need to do now? We're just going to form the body of the ox or the cow. So is it a Chinese? Is it the year of the ox or is it the year of the cow?
I know it looks like a cow to me, but apparently it's ox. But
I know.
I'm assuming they look like pretty much the same.
Yeah.
We have
So,
Elaine from the Netherlands saying good morning. Good morning, Elaine. Good
good
evening from
morning.
Sydney. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on. So
So what
what
we're going to
size
do,
spoon are you using? Oh, that's just
this
a
is
regular spoon.
1 tablespoon. No, actually it's a tablespoon.
Okay.
It's a
Oh,
it's a
okay.
measuring spoon. Yeah.
Right.
So what we do is
Sure.
we take 1 tablespoon
Okay.
and yeah, if you want to roll it out and into a circle, you can. But sometimes I'm just lazy and there's not much
Sure.
space here. So and when I tested it, I'm wondering whether this actually needs more. We'll try,
Oil.
we'll try. It might have needed a little bit more processing, but we'll try this and see if it works.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
then we just put the jam ball inside
Okay. Sure.
and close it. Yeah, because it does look a bit crumbly, but I
Sure.
think for demo purposes, I think we can work with it.
Sure.
Yeah, so you just need to encase it. Let me just use a bit more to encase it. But usually it works because I made all these others and it works. Yeah, I think this one
Yeah.
needed a bit more processing. So we'll just have a more misshapen. Yeah. So usually what I do is, okay, so now we have the other components. Let's try and maybe take, I don't know whether we can see this in the screen because it's quite tiny. I need to like really lift it up and
Yeah.
put it at an angle. Anyway, so we have the body, and then we have the horns, and then we have the ears, and then we have the patches. I know I'm a bit extra today. We'll just do one today, don't worry. We're not gonna do. And then we have the mouth, and then we have the feet, and then we have the eyes.
Oh my God. What about the tail?
Oh, there's no tail here. Yeah, not today. Yeah. Um, so, so what we're gonna do is for the horns, I'm actually I'm using cacao nibs. So this is, I don't know whether you're familiar with cacao nibs.
No,
Yeah, these are all new
cacao
nibs.
nibs. Okay.
Yeah,
No.
so
I'm writing it. Yep, go on.
I mean, because you specialize in hawker food, and we would never use this in hawker food.
No.
That's why. Maybe Victoria
Okay.
might use it because yeah, well, only when I discovered raw vegan cuisine, I'm like, what's this? And at that time, it was very hard to get in Malaysia, but now it's super easy.
Is
Yeah,
it
now
expensive though?
different brands have it. Oh, speaking of expensive, I have a discount code.
Oh, well, there you go, guys.
Yeah, so for all these products, for all the organic Q products and all that, if you use my discount code Chef Yin, you'll get 10% off. And they also have bundles, which is already 10% off. So if you use my discount code on top of that, then you get like almost 20% off. Yeah, so you
Cool.
can
There
get
you
it
go, guys.
online. Yeah, I'm actually quite glad because they are a Malaysian brand and they started bringing on in all, your cinnamon and your maca and your beetroot and your cacao powder. So it's actually cheaper to buy from them because I think they work directly with the yeah, with the manufacturers and all that. So it's quite affordable actually. Yeah.
Okay. So,
Compared to
is
say
the
6 years
discount
ago.
code like valid anytime, or is there a cutoff period?
Is for now it's valid anytime. For Malaysians and Singapore. Yeah. So
Okay, cool.
yeah. So so it's valid for both in Malaysia and Singapore. So
And you can
okay.
only
So
order it online?
you yeah, you can order it online. They actually do have it in some of the pharmacies in Malaysia, in KL, I think.
Okay.
But
All
off the
right.
top of my head, I can't remember. And then for
Sure.
that, you can't use my discount code though.
Okay. There you go, guys.
Yeah.
Hot tip.
Online shipping is only ringgit, so it's actually cheaper for you to order it online than drive out, pay petrol, pay
Yeah.
parking, and
Yeah,
buy something.
especially in violate MCO.
I know.
All
So
right,
right now,
cool.
I'm just going to. Oh, so yeah, the cacao nibs are. I want to say they're kind of like a healthier version of chocolate chips. They don't. They're made from cacao beans actually, which is where your chocolate comes from as well. But this is like a not, minimally processed kind of thing. So we'll just poking the nibs. So you have the horns. Yeah. And then we'll make the ears. Oh, I thought I was gonna roll some out. Okay. You know what? I have some pre-made already. I'm just gonna take some dough. This is just the dough. And
Okay.
just roll it out to be ears. Just checking on the timing. How much time do we have?
We have 20 minutes or so.
Oh, okay. All right. Then we have plenty of time. Yeah, okay. So I'm just trying to get it. I think the trick is just to get your dough to the right consistency where you can actually roll it into shape.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
what I'm using is just like a toothpick,
Okay.
And yeah.
That looks like one of those dental floss things.
You know what? It's I used to travel a lot, and then I think on the planes or in the hotels and all that they give you this.
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
it's just
Cool.
very handy and very hardy, and it's not
It's a good
so
point.
disposable, I suppose. So
Sure. Yeah. The
is
I was
that
gonna. No, it's people downstairs. But I wanted to get you to talk a little bit about the concept of raw vegan, like what constitutes raw vegan for those of you who, for those people who don't know you.
Okay, sure. Okay, I'm just gonna like press in the ears.
Okay, so it's just a matter of shaping it. Yeah.
Yeah, it depends. Actually, you know what? For this ones, I was a bit more ambitious. I actually, um, if you look very, very, oh, one of the legs fell off. You look very, very carefully at the ears. I don't know if you can see. I put it red and have the ears as red and the dough color. So I actually joined it together. So I colored. I can actually show you lah. So I actually cut. So this is beetroot powder. So I'm using all natural coloring today. So for red, I'm using beetroot. For brown, I'm using cacao powder. For black, I'm using bamboo charcoal powder. Yeah, so these are the three colors. So actually, you know, from this dough, I just add in. I did this in advance, so I just kind of like I just pop it into the powders and just mix it up so you get the different colors. That's all. Just remember that because it's not chemical made uh, colors, right? Like, you know, how say the commercial bakers use like the usual food color, commercially made food coloring. So it might take a bit longer for you to get the colors, and it might not be so vibrant just because it's natural. Yeah. So earlier, what I did was I kind of joined them together to make like the ears, so and just roll it together actually.
Sure. So are these colorings flavor neutral, or do they have like, are they flavored?
The beetroot is a bit sweetish because it has the beetroot. It's actually just 100% beetroot, I think. Well, let me see what I'm pretty sure it's 100% beetroot. Ingredients, beetroot powder. Yeah, so it's just made from beetroot, and I think yeah. So can you see this? So that's the ears actually. The others I actually made all the ears with red and all that. So yeah, maybe we'll do that so it's more colorful.
Cool.
I know initially when I thought about making it, I was like, wow, this takes a lot of work. But you know what? It turned out to be a lot of fun. And I think if you have kids, right, who like to do things like that, then they will really enjoy it.
That's a good point.
Yeah, get them to do that. They keep them busy.
But you can also do them the typical like low effort way, which is just kind of like your tart with the lump of thing on top,
one, right?
And the crisscross thing.
So they can do this as well. So it's just it's the same thing. They can just use the jam and the dough. Yeah. So they just need to use the cutter and just cut it out. So they can do that as well. Yeah.
Cool.
Or you can just enclose it, you know, because some pineapple tarts or pineapple, it's just round, right? That's it, right? So it doesn't need to be decorated. You can and this can already be eaten. You can just pop it into your mouth already. Yeah, this is already ready to be eaten. You don't need to bake it. Oh yeah, so you were asking about the concept of raw, right? So basically it focuses on vegetables, fruits, nuts, and seeds. And then there are all these superfoods as well if you want to use it. And then the whole idea of it, because the whole idea is you don't want to heat up your food above around 42 to 48 degrees Celsius, just because you want to preserve the maximum nutrients in the food. I found huge health benefits from it. Number one, my eczema, which I had on my fingers and my toes for 30 over years. I tried all sorts of looking for all sorts of solutions, paid loads of money to skin specialists, did all sorts of things. Nothing happened. Nothing. I couldn't get cured until I switched to raw vegan, and then everything just cleared up. So that's one. I used to fall sick a lot as well. I used to get a lot of common coughs and colds and all that. That has also stopped. My immune system has definitely been boosted. And
did you go straight from meat eating to raw vegan, or did you go to vegan first and then to raw vegan?
So in the early 90s, I started cutting down on meat. So it was like more or less pescatarian. So I still ate some fish and some seafood, but I wasn't very strict about it. Yeah, so like social gatherings and all that. If yeah, everybody orders, yeah, I'll just eat whatever food there is, or I'll try and um, avoid the meat and all that. So that was for many years. It's only in 2014 when I discovered raw food. Yeah, and then
Okay.
so I was kind of pescatarian. So I didn't feel it wasn't such a huge transition because I didn't really eat a lot of meat anyway. I only ate fish like once a week. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, when I was
Sure.
cooking, I would only cook fish like once a week anyway. So
Sure.
so I just cut down on the fish. I mean, like I cut out the fish and then cut out all the dairy and all that. And then yeah. And because I
Gotcha.
had, the other thing was because I had so much energy. Because I felt like when I ate cooked food, I always felt very sluggish and very bloated. But when I
Okay.
had my very first raw vegan meal, I was blown away. I was really mind blown. I was like, why am I feeling like this? Yeah. And if
Sure.
you talk to a lot of raw food chefs, that's the same thing as well. They always talk about they are so amazed by the kind of energy that food gives you when it's raw. Yeah, so
Okay.
that's why I'm convinced. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. Cool. All right. Yes. So how are
Okay,
you
so
going with those tarts?
so
That's
let's get back to okay, I'm gonna just do the patches. So we'll do like I've colored the dough with, like I said, the cacao powder. The cacao powder is a less processed version of cocoa powder. It's minimally processed.
does it taste the
And
same?
actually, I find it tastes better than cocoa powder. So yeah,
Okay.
I actually like it better. Maybe you should, yeah. I don't know. It's funny because so this is cacao powder. Again, when I started going raw at that time, it was the other brand that I used previously was much more expensive, so I didn't use much. But this is slightly more affordable. I mean, it's obviously not as cheap as local cocoa powder, you know. But also because I remember my academy instructor because she was asking me like, oh, do you use cacao powder? I said, oh, I actually just use cocoa powder, and she was going like, then you're missing out all your magnesium. I'm like, okay, okay. But now, yeah, then I realized that actually, like when I made food for my boyfriend with cacao, he's like, oh, this is so much better than cocoa. Like, so I make chocolate ice cream with this, I make chocolates with cacao powder and all that. I feel like for me, it tastes actually better. Yeah.
What do you use to make chocolate, like so to make ice cream when you're vegan?
Oh, okay.
Do you use
So,
coconut
so
milk or?
I actually have a ice cream course. Yeah,
Oh,
an
well, there you
online
go,
ice cream course.
guys.
Yeah, so but I can tell you what I use. I use coconut flesh. I do use depend. I have different kinds of ice cream recipes. So yeah, some people do
Nice.
use the coconut cream, coconut milk. I actually find using coconut flesh that gives you the mouthfeel of the ice cream and
Nice.
coconut oil, and I also use a bit of cacao oil. So those are some of the ingredients that I use.
Okay.
Yeah, to replace the dairy and the eggs, right? Usually
Right,
that's what's in
right.
ice cream.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, so what's cacao
Right.
oil?
No, cacao butter. So when they
Cacao butter.
so
Okay.
the cacao pod, right? So they what they do is you remove you have your cacao beans and then you ferment those cacao beans and then when you press it, then you get the cacao butter from it.
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
not it's kind of there's cocoa butter and there's cacao butter. Cacao butter is not as highly processed as cocoa butter. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Cool, cool. Interesting.
yeah. I use both depending on what I can get. But
Okay.
I
Sure.
mean, like if you're strictly raw, then it will be cacao butter. Yeah, because it's not
Sure.
highly processed. Yeah,
Got
yeah.
it. Okay.
Okay,
Cool.
so the mouth, I just kind of shaped it into, again, the dough is just colored with beetroot and I just shaped it. So we're just gonna stick it on. Don't know if you can see it.
Sure.
We'll stick it on
So all
and
the
then,
bits there, you're just dipping into the colors. You're
yeah,
not kind of like blending them into the dough?
Well, I just kind of dipped it in, and you do need to press it in a bit. Yeah, so
Okay.
this is my dough. Okay, maybe let me take a fresh piece of dough or something. Yeah, so that's the dough. And
Sure.
I'm just, yeah, I kind of dip it in and press it in. And you can roll it around as well. I mean, because it's just one small piece, right? Obviously, if you're going to make a lot, it's kind of like an assembly line and a production line kind of thing. So yeah.
Sure. Cool.
Yeah. Okay. So we've done the nose, and then what I'm going to do is I just use the toothpick and press it in. So you want to create the nostrils. Okay. And then if you want to make the cow smile, or the ox smile, then I'm just using some people use a straw, but I'm using just my measuring spoon to just create
Sure.
an indentation. So you can see it smile. And then I think the other thing we need to do is add on some eyes, right? If not, you get a blind cow. So I'm using black sesame seeds for the eyes. Yeah,
Okay. Sure.
and then let's see if we can.
All right,
So
I'm getting a low battery signal on my thing, so just give me, you keep going while I switch
Sure.
out my earpiece.
So I'm just using the toothpick to press in. And then the last part is we're going to create the feet. Yeah, so we just need to roll the dough, roll it into a circle. My dough is today totally not. Yeah, roll it into a circle and put it here and put it here.
Okay.
And I think we're done with this actually.
Okay, just let me change this audio. USB testing. Okay. But I can't hear anybody. Speakers. USB.
I can hear you.
Okay, I'm going to exit and come back in a bit. Okay.
Okay. Should I sing a song? 恭喜恭喜恭喜你呀！恭喜恭喜恭喜你！哒哒哒哒哒哒哒哒哒哒哒哒。
Okay, I'm back. I wasn't gone quite long enough. All right, sorry. I hope I sound okay.
I was trying to sing a Chinese New Year song for everyone, but then I realized like I don't actually know how to sing in Chinese. So I was just going like da 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 da. Yeah.
You're just as bad as me.
So yeah, I think when you left, I was just gonna like
Malaysian Chinese.
I was just rolling up the feet or the legs or whatever. Just like roll the dough into little balls and just stick it to the feet. Yeah. Oh, should I? I don't know whether I should. I don't need to show how to make these, right?
Yeah, no, I think it'd be
people know
okay.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Sure.
that's basically it. Actually.
There you go. That actually looks like very doable, you know. I mean, if you don't have a dehydrator, is that achievable? Like, what would you suggest?
You can just cook down the like how you make usual pineapple jam. Yeah, just most probably just cook it on the stove or cook it in the Thermomix if you have a Thermomix.
That's true.
Because the Thermomix does all the stirring for you actually. You know, so yeah,
Sure.
yeah, you can just make pineapple jam the same way. Yeah. Or I'm just wondering if you could bake it, but it doesn't make sense to bake it. I would just, just cook it on the stove, but you need to stir to make sure that it's evenly made and all that. Oh.
Is it more crumbly than your average pineapple tart because it hasn't been baked, or it's okay?
I think, well, today's one, I think I just should have I should have processed it a bit more. But these are not that crumbly. You know, the ones that I had made earlier.
Sure.
Yeah, it's actually nice and soft and.
Sure.
Okay,
could you pack them in a box to give away, or like would they fall apart do you think?
No, they won't fall apart. Nah, they won't fall apart at all.
Okay.
But
Nice.
I'm
Sure.
trying to think, like, I would, when it comes to raw food, you won't need to store it in a fridge though. So you can't just leave it out on the counter. Although this one doesn't actually
Okay.
have any water content, but it might go
Perishable.
because it might go moldy because there's cashew nuts and the cashews might go moldy. Yeah. So it needs to be
Sure.
stored in the fridge. So it's not as flaky as your usual traditional butter pineapple tarts, but it still tastes very good. Yeah. So that's
Cool.
what
Cool.
I'm aiming
Interesting.
for.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think people
Cool.
really like
But
how cute it is.
yeah, I know. You've gone a lot of effort making them look like little oxes. That's very cute. All right. Yeah, no, that's great. Guys, again, like what we said earlier, how many days can you keep it? Masna is asking. So she's throwing you a curveball. How many days can you keep this?
So usually for raw food, we recommend 5 to 7 days in the fridge. I've kept some of my raw food much longer than that actually, but just for food safety and all that, we usually say 5 to 7 days. Um, I, you know what? These are going to be like finished within 2 days. I think I'm going to eat them all
Yeah,
up already, like today and tomorrow or something like that. So yeah, but yeah, raw
sure.
food it depends on what is inside your raw food as well. But like I said, because these are cashews and all that, yeah, 5 to 7 days in the fridge.
Yeah, cool. Mala saying the kids would love it. Yeah, definitely. I'd love to see you make it, Mala. Mala is a vegan as well, so she's one of my online coaching students.
Oh,
For those of you who don't
nice.
know, both raw Chef Yin and I, we actually coach students online on Malaysian cooking, or raw Chef Yin does raw vegan cooking, and I do Malaysian cooking. So yeah, we'll tell you guys more about it another time. But in the meantime, where can people find you, raw Chef Yin?
So on Facebook, I'm most active on Facebook and Instagram. So it's facebook.com/RochefYin or instagram.com/RochefYin. I also have a e-newsletter which I send out on a daily basis. So
Wow.
yeah, because we're in lockdown right now. So I wake up, I meditate, I do my qigong. I wake up, I meditate, and then I write my e-newsletter, and then I do my qigong. So if anybody is interested in that, you could sign up for that. Yeah. So my website rochefyin.com, and then there's a tab for newsletter. Just click on that, and you can get that as well. So that
Cool.
I've just started recording videos. So I have like about 11 videos for anyone who has subscribed to my e-newsletter. And I'm planning to record more exclusive videos for those who have signed up.
Fabulous. Guys, take advantage of this lockdown period to sign up to Raw, because Raw Chef Yin, I know, is a very, very busy person. Usually she's traveling all over the world teaching people about raw food. So take advantage of this lockdown to sign up to her newsletter so that you can take advantage of her knowledge when it comes to raw food. So this is actually quite achievable. I'm interested to actually try making the dough using cashews, and I've never thought about that before, and oats. So be interesting to see how it turns out. Well, thank you so much for this, raw Chef Yin, another very interesting recipe. Guys, don't forget, if you want this recipe and all our Chinese New Year series recipes, you need to sign up at malaysianchefs.com/join today, and you'll get an email with instructions on how to access all our free recipes and e-magazines for free. Okay. Yeah, thanks again, raw Chef Yin, and we will see you back here in our next series, right?
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
All right, guys. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. And we will, as usual, bump out with Tourism Malaysia. Have a good night. Ciao.
Go, go.